All right, guys, today's video was a huge golf swing discovery for both myself and two of my students that recently came to a golf school. They had the same exact issue and we fixed it with the same exact drill that I'm going to show you today. You see, most players that come see me or come for online lessons, they all kind of have the same thing, and it's based around a lot of inconsistency. And this might be you. And most golfers that fall into that bucket typically have some amount of what we call early extension. Now, early extension just means if we drew the line down my butt line, and we'll pull up a model pro here, their ability to keep their hips back during their downswing in particular is a common trait amongst really good ball strikers. Unfortunately, a common trait amongst people who come see me, who are very inconsistent, is they're not able to keep those hips back. The hips are working too far in towards the golf ball. Now, why that's a problem, like my two students and maybe you, is as soon as my hips work in towards the ball, what happens to my upper body? It gets farther away from the ground. Hips in make my upper body go back. And I got news for you. When your upper body's going back away from the golf ball during the downswing, that's always going to create inconsistencies because you have to do something to get down to the ball. You have to overextend your arm, early release your wrist angles, and that's nothing good. Inconsistent, poor contact, lack of distance, no club face control, right? We see the good ball strikers are able to keep their hips back, which enables them to do what? Have their upper torso staying down. You ever hear like keeping your spine angle? We'll show a good player here. We got Tiger and Rory, maybe Max Homa, keeping the spine angle on the way through the ball. That enables them to have some shaft lean, very passive through the ball, all the good things that we want. Now, people that come in to see me typically fall into one of two buckets. Either A, right, bucket number one, or A, they aren't aware they have early extension. And since they aren't aware they have it, they're not trying to fix it. And since they're not trying to fix it, it never goes away, and they always have their problems. So they're just not aware. Or number two, which was both of the students in this particular school we did, they knew they had early extension, the hips were kicking in, and both of them tried for a long time to fix it, but they weren't able to. And I noticed with both of these two students, just like I see a lot, that most students who aren't able to fix the hips kicking in, it's because of the timing of when they're trying to fix it. Most people who struggle with the hips kicking in aren't able to fix it because they're not fixing it at the right time. Most of us are trying to do the right things. If you've heard videos before, you've heard me say, hey, you fix a problem by doing the opposite and exaggerating. So if my hips are kicking in towards the ball, Eric, what am I supposed to do? Push my hips back. Yes, but when you do it and how you do it are really important. Both of my students were trying to fix their hips going in towards the ball by just pushing them back and having them more back at setup. Okay, maybe you've tried this as well. The problem is that's like the worst thing in the world you can do, because the more your hips are back early, like if I set up and I push my hips really far back, they've got nowhere to go but where? Forward and towards the ball. And then what happened? Boom, there's my early extension. My hips are in, my upper body's back, inconsistent. If they're too far back, they're always going to go in this way. The second thing both of them are doing, starting too far back, I'll show you how to fix that, give you some feels in the drill here in a second, is having it too far back early, or they say, hey, well, since my hips are kicking in on the way down, what if I really push them back early in the backswing? And that's another big problem. If I fill my cup or use kind of max out how far I push my hips back early in the takeaway, again, I've got nowhere else to go here but forward. And so both these players, and maybe you, were trying to fix, they had good intention, it makes sense, hips are kicking forward, push them back more early, but they never fixed it. You probably dealt with the same thing. The key is to have your hips more forward and underneath you early, number one. Number two, keep them under you, which I'll show you how to do in the first part of the backswing. And then timing-wise, this was the big discovery for myself and them, that when you do the hips pushing back, it should be at the end of the backswing and into the early downswing. We've got a really cool image here of Tiger where he's pushing the hips back in his transition. And look, you know, you and I aren't going to swing like Tiger was. I understand that. But there's certain things he does we can model. And this is one of them, which is the timing of the hips pushing back. I'm going to give you a drill to do it. But here's what I want you to start with. A, I don't want you to push your hips back at setup. It's always going to kick them forward. B, and I want you to push your hips back in the early takeaway. What I want you to do instead is at your setup position, have your hips a little bit more underneath you. So you'll feel the pressure in your feet more in the middle or the balls of the feet. If you're pressuring your feet at setup or back in your heels, you almost certainly have your hips too far back. Now, are there some elite athletes who start with them back and keep them back? There are, but it's very rare. I don't come across it often. Very, very difficult to do. 98 times out of 100, conservatively, when you start too far back, weight on the heels, we're going forward towards the toes, counterbalance. So instead, let's use some logic there. What if we have our hips a little more underneath us? Pressure a little bit more on the balls of the feet, kind of edge of the shoelaces, where my butt line's not super far behind my heel line. And I'll show you that drill in a minute, how to do it, but hips a little bit more up and forward, okay? Pressure forward. Now, why would that work? Well, if my hips are forward at setup, now I've got space to be able to do what? Create some depth when I go back. But what if I have my hips forward at the setup position, pressure on the balls of the feet, kind of think shoelaces, and then I just push my hips right back. And then I just wasted it. Then I pushed it back too early, I'm gonna go right back in. So instead what I wanna do is have the hips up and forward to start. Here's really key, this line that my butt's on now, and we'll see Tiger doing this and Rory, they're not busting back through that in the initial takeaway. All I'm trying to do now is stay up on that early. In fact, I don't want my weight to go back to my heel too soon. Pressure's on the balls of the feet, hips are a little more under. When I do my takeaway, I want to still maintain a lot of the same things. My hips still stay under, pressure's more middle of my foot, not too far back, and I'm not pushing my butt back yet. I'm not pushing it back, not pushing it back, not pushing it back. Now at the very end of my backswing into my downswing is when I feel that back motion. And I bet at least 50% of you watching who struggle with early extension, just that concept of changing when you do it, the timing, is gonna help you fix it. Because you're probably doing it too early, right? And I get it, I've tried that as well. So it's hips a little bit more under. As I go back, I'm keeping them under in my takeaway. Pressure still on the ball of the foot, middle of the foot. I'm not pushing back yet, when I'll show you the drill in a minute. And now I'm feeling it really late and in transition. Now, when I learned about maybe a decade ago from my good friend JT Thomas and George Gankis, and JT said, hey, when you're doing this, is a light bulb for me. I was pushing back too early. He said, hey man, try and wait as long as possible. That like really hit home with me. Really wait as long as possible, meaning the very end of my backswing into early transition. And so piece number one, I want you to understand that the timing is important. To start with, I'll do one or two without a ball. So start without a ball. Hips a little bit more up and forward. Pressure might feel a little more forward to you. You might notice that you were on your heels. That's no good. When I go back, keep the weight more in the middle of my foot early. Keep my hips underneath me a little bit more. Create the depth as late as possible and into transition. Now, when I'm pushing the hips back, what I'm specifically feeling, and you'll see Tiger and Rory, they're increasing a little bit of what we call their flexion, just meaning their hips are pushing back a little and their core region is pushing down a little. Their hips are pushing back, core down. What's early extension? What's bad? Instead of hips going back, hips are going where? Forward. Where's their core going? Down or up? Up, right? Bad is hips forward, core up. Good is hips back, core down. Hips back, core down. That's the feel we're trying to go for. So from this line, if we have the line down my butt, I'm not breaking that here early, I'm breaking it in transition. See that move there? Set up position, hips under, pressure forward, keep them under, now push it back. See the timing there? Late backswing, early downswing. Hips under, pressure forward, keep it there early, now push back. Now that's piece number one, is learning how to do that. And I'm gonna show you a little kind of easy way to do this with your bag here at the end. That's what I want you to start with. Get your hips a little bit more under, pressure more forward, keep them under in the first part, create the depth late into the backswing and early downswing. Should look something like this. There we go. That's a really nice strike. All right, guys, the face-on swing coach feature is finally here. We've been waiting months and months to give this to you. Thousands of you downloaded the Swing Coach app, an AI golf coach we've been working with to help you on your game. And we had the down the line feature. It's been amazing. Now the face-on feature is finally in there as well. I'm pumped to have this out. I've been waiting for this. A lot of you have as well. This AI golf coach is designed to help give you feedback while you practice.
Lower body at impact, back by 6.
It tells you after every swing how you did. Do you need to do more, less, sooner, later? And I'm in the app with you with drills on every single part of the swing, feels, to help you find middle. This is a next revolution of golf coaching. The one thing that holds back so many golfers is the lack of feedback. Now, that is no more. The best thing of all, you get to try this for free. We'll put a link and a QR code on the screen. Try for free for 14 days, and then it's only 15 bucks a month. Unbelievable. You're gonna absolutely love it. Give it a shot. One of my students, and this happens sometimes, said, hey, well, when I do this and I just push my hips back, I get stuck, right? And you might experience this. The hips push back, but they also stay back from this angle, meaning away from the target. They get stuck. There's a sort of transition movement here that needs to happen. I'm creating the depth late backswing, early downswing, pushing back. That's just for the first little bit. From here, what must happen then is I need to get my belt buckle or my hips to push up and forward. Forward meaning towards the target, up meaning away from the ground. And I want to angle them to when I finish, they point some amount left. So if my target is the clock out there at 12 o'clock, when I get done, I want my belt buckle to point at about 11. Left of the target. And we'll see Rory from the target view, and you'll see how his hips are pushing up and to the left forward this way. He's got some nice hip depth here. And then you'll see him from face on here. His hips, you'll see the whole time, end of backswing, early downswing, they're moving forward. So timing's important. Don't set them at setup. Don't do it early in the takeaway. Do it as late as possible, the top of the backswing, early transition. And immediately after that, I've got the hip depth, but I'm not just keeping my hips back forever. I need to get my belt buckle then to push up and forward, and I want it pointed left of the target. So a couple practice swings, let's do these together. Setup position, pressure on the balls of the feet, hips under. I'm gonna show you a drill. I've been promising in a second, or maybe a minute. Keep the pressure forward, keep the hip on the wall, don't push back yet. Create the depth with the tailbone or the hips back early. Now get the belt buckle forward, up, and left. Pressure forward, keep it forward, create the depth late, hips forward and left. So just make sure when you get done with your swing, your hips are pushed forward. The left hip is deep. See that Rory target view, right? Got some tilt there. So in the beginning, like my two students, we just started with piece number one. Set up with the hips and weight a little more forward, keep them there doing transition. But this is the second piece. I need to add some rotation, which is getting my belt buckle pointed left of the target. So turn, and I need some slide and extension. All right, that's all normal stuff. See the Rory doing it. So let's hit one more and then we'll pull that drill out. Pressure a little more forward, hips under. Keep it there, keep the butt on the line, create this late and an early transition. Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really nice strike I could feel. And that should have just basically kept my butt on the wall, which we're trying to accomplish. So maybe you didn't know you had early extension, now you do. Something to keep in mind. Maybe you tried to fix it too early. Now you know you got to do it a little bit later. Let me just show you an easy drill you can do at home or on the range. So here's a simple way I gave both my students. You could do this right at home. Lots of different things you could put behind your butt line, but I want to use a bag because we should all hopefully have one of these. So I had them set up with the bag behind them, and I got the driver, right? And this shouldn't hurt your driver, it should be okay here. But I get their driver head cover when they set up. If I stood normal, my normal distance away from the ball, and I put the head cover about a fist behind my butt. That would be like a little more than maybe a club head distance or a fist behind my heel line or my butt line. Now this is going to help me with a couple things. Number one, at setup, the amount of how much I want to push my butt back is very little. From a normal standing position, I only want to push my butt back like literally a club head width or like a fist, not very much. So from here, I want to learn how to, I'm going to bend my knees and round down to the golf ball. That's another one I learned from George and JT that helped me a ton. So from here now, I've got my hips lightly touching this driver. That was one fist behind my butt at setup. I feel my knees bent a little bit. My kneecaps are bent over the ball of the foot. The pressure's on the ball of my feet. So just forward of middle, not out towards my toes, but ball of my foot. Now what I'm going to feel here as I go back is the same things we've been talking about. I'm going to feel like I keep my pressure a little bit more forward or middle of my right foot. I'm not pushing back with my right hip yet. And now very late in transition, I'm going to feel a little bit of that pushing back, right? The tailbone push back, the core region push down a little bit. And then this is my early transition feel. Just start there. But eventually I'm going to feel that same thing. And then I'm going to take my belt buckle and push it up into the left. Now when you're doing this, right, your driver should be the farthest thing out. and you shouldn't hurt it, right? Make sure you don't have any alignment sticks or anything sticking out there. So set up position, about a fist behind. I'm gonna round down. I like to bend my knees first and kind of round from the top. That's my feel. Might feel a little bit more pressure on the balls of the feet. Keep it there, push back in transition with the tailbone. I'm gonna push my hips up and to the left. So stay forward early. Feel it in transition. And there's another really solid strike, about a 2 or 3 yard draw. And the nice thing about the bag, right, is that you have some feedback. If I was standing behind you, saying, recording, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, that's pretty easy. But this is a nice feedback tool. Another thing you could try is a swing coach app. Put that behind you. That'll give you some hip depth info, or come see us at a school. One more time, fist behind. That's set up. So just standing normal. Knees, kind of round down from the top. Trying to stay forward on my balls and my feet a little bit longer early. Push back late, end of backswing, early transition. And there's another really solid one. So just a little way to give you a little feedback there. I like that one. There's different training, as I'm sure you've seen, where you can kind of have your hips back on them. Any of those are good. But depending upon what bucket you fall in, right? Maybe you're someone like people who come and see me. Most everyone who comes to see me, inconsistent contact, inconsistent day to day. 80% of them have some early extension, either on the backswing or on the downswing. This should help fix both. So maybe you didn't know you have it, now you do something to check for, you did know, and you tried for a long time to fix it and weren't able to, and I bet that that's gonna help you. In fact, I almost guarantee it's gonna help you. And so if you're doing that and it's not working, send me a message, send me something, because it's just the how you're doing it. So I mentioned Swing Coach, right? That's the easiest way to work together. If you wanna go do that, it's free to try. It's 15 bucks a month. It's an AI golf coach that we're helping develop. It's so good. It's like having me stand right behind you. Highly recommend that. Cogornogolf.com. That's a little bit, it's like 100 bucks a month for you to try. Online coaching, come see me in person. Come to a 2-day school. Like my 2 students that I mentioned, we'll have that link down below, down here in Florida, up in PA. Either way, let me know if you guys have any questions. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have any things you want to see in future videos or want to expand upon early extension, I'll also link that video on here that JT and I did. Similar style to this. If you want a video that goes a little more through like root causes of why early extension happens in the first place, talks through the setup stuff in a little bit more detail, I'll put that one on here. I was pointing the wrong direction. You'll see that one up there. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to watch more like this, check out this video next.